Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It's episode 10, 1-0, we have managed to get double digits on the Hermitcraft Series 5 and I am very happy with how much progress we have managed to make so far. I mean, we've got this giant community breeding area, trading area, then we have all of the villager breeders that we've created, we've got the iron farm, we've got the dirt hut, we've got multiple farms over there, we've taken on an ocean monument, and also we have got the gigantic community slime farm, as well as a few other things like super smelters and the glass shop and everything like that. Basically, I would say we've made a really strong start to this Hermitcraft season, and in this episode we are hopefully going to be adding to that. In fact, we're going to be heading off into the ocean and we're going to be trying our best to get started on the brand new base. What I want to do is I want to try my best to actually set up the perimeter around the ocean monument and start work on that side of things, which could be tricky as I've never really done that before, but I think it should be fairly interesting. I'm going to be honest guys, I have managed to get myself totally and utterly lost. I can't find where my base is meant to be. I'm lost. I'm completely lost. So here goes. We have managed to find the location. There is my portal. So, once again, minus 150, 135. I said those two coordinates the wrong way round, but let's just see if we actually make it onto our own island here. Good! Excellent! Alright, we are there. I should probably sleep through the night just to make sure that we don't get crept up on or anything like that. And then we're going to pop back on through the portal and see if we are successfully linked up to the nether. If we are, then that is going to be massively helpful with transporting ourselves and items between the two bases. And yes, by the look of things, we are. I should probably cover up all of this stuff, make sure that we can't fall into the lava. Now we can actually start work on gathering up some bits. I've been trying to find the mining desert. I haven't. All I've done is I've found Exuma Void, just kind of standing here weirdly. It's like really eerie. And this guy, I still haven't found the mining desert. Despite this place being absolutely lethal and me almost being destroyed by every mob under the sun, I have managed to get myself one full inventory of sand, which didn't really take too long, but I will just say I feel like the limiting factor of me doing this is going to be how easy it is to get sand, because this desert is like miles away from everything. It's a huge tunnel. So yeah, that could be a bit of a frustration. I might actually have to pick up a few shulker boxes and do it that way. Now I must admit, I'm kind of between ideas of how I want to clear out all of the water. I could use sponges, which would be, well, it would be very long and boring, or I could use flying machines, which could be quite cool, or alternatively, I could use a ridiculous sand thing, which basically fills in the entire area with sand. But to do that, I would need 70,000 sand blocks, which means that, let's be realistic here, that's almost 1,100 stacks. I'm going to need some form of sand duplicator. Now this design does seem to work. I don't know how I feel about sand duplicators. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build the machine that is going to be placing all of the sand to clear out my ocean monument. I still haven't decided if I'm going to be using sand duplicators or not, but I feel like that's a really good way to make progress, which means that we are going to need a ton of slime blocks, a ton of pistons, a bunch of observers, basically a whole ton of various complicated bits and pieces. But I am fueled up. I've got a fire under my bottom and a creeper right in front of me. Okay, let's just ignore that. Right, so I think I am pretty much good to go. I'm just going to quickly double check our requirements list, but we need a handful of furnaces right there. Okay, that's pretty good. Now for this build, we need 31 sticky pistons, which you definitely have. We need 61 pistons, we've got those. 180 building blocks, awesome. 121 redstone dust, wicked. 12 furnaces, 1 lever, 9 repeaters, 6 fence gates, 1 dropper, 60 hoppers, we need 90 slime blocks, 26 observers, 1 comparator. Awesome! we are ready to build Ilmango's ridiculous thingamajig. And this is the ridiculous thingamajig that I've been talking about. This is Ilmango's world download. I'll put a link to his video down in the description so that you can see all of this stuff explained. But this is going to fill in this entire area with sand, and this is where I'm going to be standing, placing in the 70,000 or more sand blocks that are going to be used to fill in this entire area. Cool. Okay. Let's actually construct this machine. Now, I must admit, I wish I was a lot more prepared with potions and things like that, because I have spent probably the past 20 minutes just trying to make sure that this is lined up with this. It's taken me a long old time, but I think we've just about done it. So the placer is now in place. This tiny little redstone circuit right here. I can promise you we're going to make more progress from this point. Okay, I think we're making pretty good progress here. We've got that redstone block right there, so that should be the final kind of bit of the piston pusher. There is the observer that needs to go on. That's going to be pulling across our piston. Right, those are my guiding blocks. That there is another guiding block. And bud power. Okay. That should be that. So, we now have a system that is going to be transporting sand from this piston all the way over here, and it's going to transport it from all the way over here, all the way over there. And that is using these systems right here, which are really, really smart. Look. Did that work? I think that worked. Yes, it did work. So when we're using this with sand, it will essentially pull the sand blocks across and drop both sets of sand in these sorts of zones right here, so that we have one long line of sand that goes right the way across, and then that observer at the end will update, pushing the sand down, making it drop down, and then it will repeat the same process once again many, many times. But now we need to build some flying machines that are going to pick up the sand once it reaches the 12 block push limit, and they're going to drag them back and forth. Okay, yeah, I think I know where we are. Progress is coming along nicely here. We have got the flying machine activator circuit, and the interesting thing about this is that it has to be instant, which means that we're using instant repeaters over here. So you can see that when I flick this lever off, boom, they just switch off instantly. Okay, so underneath this line, we're going to have a whole bunch of flying machines. I also just want to say I'm really sorry for the kind of disjointed and really short progress updates. I'm trying my best to watch and understand this tutorial, reference the world download in Ilmango's video, not get anything wrong, and not get killed by lots and lots of guardians. I promise this is going to return to a regular Hermitcraft episode once all of this has been constructed. And having just said all of that, I have actually built this thing wrong. I have built... It's not a big deal, by the way. It's like a tiny thing, but I've built all of my observers on the wrong side, and now I have to make sure that I don't lose the observers while I fix this up, which actually could be a little bit more difficult than I first imagined, because these things are expensive. Wow, that was honestly one of the most frustrating things I've had to do. Guardians, man, I don't know why I have decided to do a guardian farm. I hate these things. I've actually been shouting at my computer because I would be trying to place in these pistons, and there's only like a tiny, tiny little edge of the slime block that you can place it on. It's already annoying enough because I'm trying to kind of bob up and down in the water like this to place these pistons in, and then I do it, and as I do it, a guardian would zap me, and I'd place it on the wrong place, and then it takes ages to break the piston, and oh, my blood pressure is still high. It's still high from this. So I mean, we're pretty much done for this side. I'd say that's pretty much like 90% of the machine done. I think there's like a few things I have to do all the way on the other edge of the monuments, but we're actually good to go in terms of this thing. Get out of here. I hate you. I hate you. I was literally about to launch this thing, and it turns out that I have actually built something a little bit wrong here, in that somehow I have lined up my buds with the wrong block. Now, it's a very minor issue, and by the look of things, it actually changes here. Look, this is where the furnace is, and no, I've done it wrong completely all the way across. Nice. Having just replaced all of these bud switches right here, turns out they're actually built on the wrong level. They should be one block above the water. This is why I don't like playing Minecraft for extended periods of time, because I just start making the most ridiculous mistakes. I am truly terrified at this point in time. It may not look like much, but this is the result of many hours of work. And I really don't want it to mess up. I seriously don't want it to mess up. So I have checked and triple checked everything. I mean, it all looks okay to me, but you know how it is with these things. Sometimes you just miss like the tiniest little thing, and that will mess up everything. But I think what I'm going to do is I am going to trigger the flying machines and see if they actually fly and if they actually bounce back. We're going to do it. See what I mean? You missed the tiniest things. I hadn't even connected up. I'm gonna check again. I've been checking this thing for way too long. Like, it's becoming strange now. I'm fairly certain we're all good. I'm fairly certain we're all good to go. So I'm going to remove the slab. We have flight. Not good. Really not good. I'm actually surprised this one is working and coming back. There are some that totally haven't worked though. I get the impression that there are some that totally haven't worked. And I wouldn't be able to tell you why. I'll try relogging and seeing if it's server side, if it was ghost blocks. Nope, they didn't work. Found the problem. I'm an idiot, total idiot. I don't know how I didn't spot this, but there we go. Time to rebuild the flying machines, then it should be functional. That should now all be fixed. Everything is looking good. So when we place in the block, that should fire these pistons. And, well, yeah, by the look of things, send off the flying machines. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. I wasn't actually expecting them to launch off there because of the whole T flip-flop mechanism type thing. But hey, would you look at that? Now let's see if they all bounce back. Yes, we have made a functioning, fully filling ocean monument system. Now we just need to get a whole bunch of sand. But first, I think I'm going to go AFK overnight on my iron farm because I've used a ton of pistons here and we're running low. And here we have a full time lapse of that AFK session. I thought I'd set up the camera account and just see all of the zombies running around the top for, I think, 14 hours in total. I was there for 14 hours. Unfortunately, the server closed at about the 13th hour, but we still managed to get ourselves a ton of footage. So let me know down in the comment section if you'd like to see more of this in the future. I don't know, it could be really stupid, but I think it's pretty cool. Now, I am a little bit terrified to get out of here because, thankfully, oh dear, I shouldn't have broken the boat. It doesn't seem like there's too many mobs down in this chamber, but we managed to get 3 and a bit stacks of iron. That seems pretty low. Huh. That's not too much for 13 hours worth of AFKing, and I should probably get out of here because, yeah, there's zombies. Anyway, ooh, I'm definitely out of here. We're going to head back over to our area because we still have a ton of work that we need to do. Guys, I have no clue where my sponges have gone. I'm a little bit scared here. Yeah, no idea. They don't seem to be anywhere. I can't find them. There is a ghast right at the exit of my tunnel, and he has given me a beating. A serious beating. And I have no fish left. And he's right there! Oh my gosh! Project number 1 is to get a whole ton of shovels. We're going to need tons of enchanted shovels, so I've got some lapis, I've got a bunch of diamonds, I've got my wood, and I've got some books for junk enchantments. and I'm going to try my best to get loads and loads of XP at this ridiculous ender that I need Sweeping Edge for. And that's that. We have now got, we got Sweeping Edge 3 on our sword. I thought that was probably a good thing to get, so we got quite lucky with the book right there. But then also we have got a bunch of efficiency shovels. Now, some of them don't have Unbreaking 3, which is a bit of a pain in the backside, but I think in total we have, that's 8, yeah, 9, 10. 10 shovels, and that should be good for collecting a decent quantity of sand. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to dump all of this stuff. I'm going to craft up a whole bunch of chests, and then we're going to have to head off to the mining desert, and we're going to do a 1 hour long sand mining session. Something that I've never really done before, but I feel like that is necessary because, well, 70,000 sand blocks, that's quite a bit. So this is it. This is how many double chests we need of sand to fill in the ocean monument. So, I'm going to set up my second account. We're going to get a nice aerial view of me just dismantling this desert right here. And then I will catch you guys in 1 hour's time. How much do you think I'm going to get? I have absolutely no idea. So in today's time-lapse chat, I want to talk to you guys about YouTube and what YouTube videos you enjoy watching. Because I like to do this kind of 2 or 3 times throughout Hermitcraft season just to get a rough gauge of what my viewership also enjoys outside of me, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So I'm going to try my best to explain to you what I personally consume from YouTube. And I guess it could come as a bit of a surprise, but the first answer is very boring in that Minecraft-wise, pretty much purely Hermitcraft. Other than like a few Redstone and technical YouTubers who do crazy stuff with farms and just insane efficiency, and flying machines and everything like that, Let's Play wise, it is purely Hermitcraft, to be honest with you. So that's a little bit boring, so we're going to move away from that one, and we're going to take a look at my other passions in life, which are basically cars and filming. Cars are like my #1 thing. I absolutely love cars. So when it comes to car YouTube, I would say Mr. JWW, fantastic UK car YouTuber, also Seen Through Glass, another absolutely brilliant one. Shmee150 is just fantastically informative, and there's a ton of them actually. That's kind of where I watch most of like my vlogger car content. I would say those 3 right there. But then outside of like the vlogger style of things, you've got channels like Drive Tribe. Drive Tribe was actually started by Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond, and it's fantastic. It's amazing. If you're interested in cars, it's brilliant. It's the #1 place I would suggest going. But you've also got channels like Evo. They're a big magazine in the UK. They make beautiful videos as well. And people like Carfection and Petrolicious. If you're into classic cars, Petrolicious is the way to go because their videos are just stunningly well produced. Which kind of brings me on to my next section, which is just beautiful videos. I like watching really beautiful, like, cinematic videos that look like they should be in a cinema, but amazingly they've been uploaded to YouTube. That's where I like to watch, and I'd say, I mean, there's kind of 2 that come straight to mind. Philip Bloom is a brilliant YouTube channel that also does a lot of, like, gear reviews and things like that, which is fantastic for someone like me that loves camera equipment. But I'd say #1 right now is Creative North TV. He's only got about 25,000 subscribers. I'll try my best to put a link to his channel down in the description, but he makes stunning documentary-style videos, and they're beautiful. They look like they should be in cinemas, and they're fantastic. They're seriously brilliant, and I actually just want to say a big congratulations to him because he recently got his show, or his documentary even, his feature-length documentary put onto Netflix, that's brilliant. So I'm going to be watching that tonight. It's called Pearl of Africa if you want to check it out. But it looks seriously interesting. So he's like the #1 at this point in time. I think that just about rounds everyone up. I don't think I've forgotten anyone. So put your favourite YouTube channels down in the comment section. Put your reasons why you enjoy watching them. Maybe I'll add some extra ones to my list. And I'm just interested to hear what you guys are consuming. And that is that. So we have taken out a pretty decent chunk of the desert right here. I mean, we've got, well, this entire area, and we also moved off into the next area over there. I've got a full inventory, and we have managed to fill up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a bit chests out of 21 double chests. Not bad. So we're like a quarter of the way there. I think this is going to be one of those things that I'll kind of dip into over the next Hermitcraft episode. So we're going to be working on other projects and things like that, but I'm also going to dip into sand mining here and there so that we can actually work towards clearing out this ocean monument. But anyway, I'm going to pick up any of the sand that is left over because there's quite a few stacks just kind of lying on the floor right here. And then we'll head back on over to my base and continue on working. So I've been messing around placing in some sand into the system. You can see that all I have to do is hold down the right click button and that does the trick. So I'll be standing around about here, I believe, or near enough here, and I will be picking up the sand that drops out of that dropper, and I'll be doing this for about 28 hours once I get 70,000 sand blocks. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go AFK between this episode and the next one and do my full double chest of sand that I have over there, and then we will see how much we can do by the start of the next Hermitcraft episode. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.